Welcome to part 2 of This Is Where I'm Coming From, which contains some poetry which I hope you will find just a little bit different. Whether on radio or on television, whenever I listen to the Armistice Day service, I usually end up by blubbing. This poem was written on Armistice Day in the New Forest. We were parked up in our motor caravan, and as we listened to the service on the radio, a herd of wild ponies cantered by. Their freedom made the connection between our freedom and the sacrifices made to obtain it really rather poignant. Armistice Day in the New Forest. A November morning, parked up in the New Forest, rain drumming on the motor caravan roof, leaves falling on more leaves beneath, a vermilion carpet at our feet, and the hoofbeat of wild ponies cantering free out onto the heath. Our freedom today. Bugles calling, crowds gathering at the cenotaph, drums drumming, honouring lost youth, ranks forming on more ranks, the street a carpet of poppies, and the brave boom of the minute gun, clock telling the silence that follows the laying of wreaths, and remembering, we pray. I firmly believe that one should never be called upon to write poetry to order. So when my tutor told me to write a poem about a marketplace in wintertime, I felt I had to get up early one Saturday morning and visit a street market to see if I could pick up some idea. Bermondsey Market. Buskers playing to the street crowds, tricksters palming dog-eared cards, tipsters handing out their forecasts, spivs on corners shouting street cries, hot dog, ketchup, golden French fries, stalls of whelks and stalls of veggies, marrows, barrows, squash and gourds. This is Bermondsey in winter, frosty fingers, breath in clouds. Stalls of gaily coloured canvas, hanging limp in chilly air, dewdrops on the costers' nostrils, cur-dogs curled up under tables, counterfeits with Dior labels, scarves and gloves and deniard stockings, ornaments of gaudy stained glass. This is Bermondsey on Friday. Nimble fingers work the crowds. For any parent, just standing by helplessly and watching a young daughter die is a profoundly sad experience. When my daughter died, I swear that I saw her soul breaking free from her body and flying out through the open window to some place about which we know not one jot, and that is what I have tried to encapsulate here. Rose Gallery, Brompton Hospital. In a quiet room, her mother and I at the bed, she fought and fought for life and lost and was dead. Time stopped, her spirit flew out of the window, free from strife, her soul had fled. Tears welled, the gulf grew unbearably wide. Ours was the grief as we watched and bled. Goodbye, your memory stays with us ever, though the wind, like the spectre's knife, carries you over the river. I had left the Navy long before the Falklands conflict. But when I served, my job was to control fighter aircraft flying out on assimilated combat missions. So I think I have a pretty good idea of how it might have felt to a young Fleet Aeron pilot going into combat for the first time. Over Goose Green. Bogies closing in from southward. Climb. Make Angels 35. Vector starboard 180. Strangle Parrot. Missiles live. This is the moment, this the real thing. No more mock-ups, no more training. Nerves are jangling. Self-doubts thrive. Mother steaming south beneath you. Radar scanning. Watchful eyes. Gun crews closed up to their stations. Lookouts searching darkening skies. This is the time of confrontation. No more doubts, no hesitation. Dry the mouth and brave the lies. 02 from section leader. Watch my tail and keep behind. Save heroics till much later. In the bar and in the mind. This is how we'll come back through it. Bandits, air brakes, do it, do it. Break formation, take the high one. No, not the Mirage, that one's my one. Then lock on. Targets now assigned. Green, the cursors on the radar. Blips of light and bleeps of sound. Bleeps which quicken, get much louder. Missiles telling, targets found. This is now man takes over from machine and gives the order, unleashes rockets, retribution, violent death and fragmentation. Fireballs falling to the ground. 02 to section leader. Judy, I have a kill. I feel like puking in my face mask, and when I'm down I guess I will. Now is the time of realization, him or me, annihilation. The instinct of self-preservation was all I had to be here still. Steady boy and keep formation, don't let your thoughts or feelings roam. 03's not coming with us, the one you took out Don. Now's not the time to count the cost of sacrifice, of young lives lost. Let's get the fuck and get back home. We went to Ireland and were captivated by Bantry Bay. We were not so impressed, however, by the Japanese tourists dashing around like demented fleas, jumping out of their cars, photographing each other and driving away without having actually seen a thing. This poem is called Bantry Bay. They drew up, jumped out, photographed each other, sitting on the stone Warleen overlooking Bantry Bay, then jumped back in their Nissan cars, slammed their doors, crashed their gears and drove away to find some other pleasure, whilst we sat watching the setting sun staining gold the sides of islets, sparkling on the tops of wavelets, communicating in our silence, holding to this seascape treasure, wishing it could last forever, wanting just to stay and stay. Well, thank you for your time. I enjoyed that, and I hope that you did too. Other poems of mine follow in further parts of my upload, or you can read them for yourself on my webpage www.anthony.bavin.talktalk.net. As I say, thanks for listening, and in the words of the indomitable Dave Allen, may your God go with you